How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. How are you doing? I know, probably feeling like shit. Yesterday's loss. What? Like, how embarrassing was that? I mean, watching there on my TV, I'm like, we're going to win this game. We're looking good. The 2-run homer ties it. All right, still not looking so good. Grand slam. All right, starting to feel a little bit off about this one. And the thing about the Yankees, guys, and I think you guys would agree with me, is that when the hitting is going well, when we're getting on base, when we're scoring runs, our pitching falls apart. But when the pitching is performing well, we can't hit for jack shit. Yesterday, we wasted another Garrett Cole masterclass. We wasted a tremendous performance, 6 innings, 1 earned run. You got to win games like that. You have to win games when Garrett Cole is putting together extraordinary performances. We've lost 4 of his last 7 starts, guys, and he's given up 2 runs or less in those starts. It's unacceptable. When your starting pitcher is giving up 2 runs or less in 6 innings, you have to win those games. Losing those games is unacceptable, and the Yankees need to be thinking about the fact that they're not a well-balanced team. There's no synergy. They never play a complete game. They've been blown out more times this year than I've seen in probably the last decade. I think they have they have 12 walk-off losses this year. 12 walk-off losses. I think that's the most in the league. It's unacceptable. But, we're going to talk about a player today. Mark Feinsand of MLB.com came out after the loss to the Rockies yesterday and actually linked us to one of their outfielders, Randall Grichuk. I don't know how to say his last name, but maybe you do. It's a player that is really bad defensively, but a really good, I wouldn't even say really good. He's having a good offensive season, but you're in Coors Field, you're in Colorado. Do those numbers come crashing back down? We're going to talk about him, give you some insight into what he would actually offer. But Ryan, before we do it, how do you say this guy's last name and how you do it today, my friend?
Well, number one, I think it's Grichuk, if I'm not mistaken. That's how I hear it on the broadcast, and that's how I'm going to rock with it. If I'm going to be wrong, I'll be wrong with Michael K, I guess. You know what I mean? That's not bad company to be wrong with. But in all seriousness, Randall Grichuk, the things he does well are things that the Yankees, I think, are trying to figure out ways to mesh with other guys on the roster, right? Obviously Jake Bauers is currently hurt, but we know he's very good against righties and very bad against lefties. Billy McKinney is still on this roster technically. And he's struggled mightily as of late, but he's someone who, has also hit a little bit better against righties than lefties. Not enough for you to suggest doing a strong slide platoon, but definitely enough for you to think about, hey, maybe, there's some traction here. I do think the platoon you go with is Bauers and Grichuk, and you could also do IKF and Grichuk. IKF actually hits better against righties than he does against lefties. Grichuk kills lefties. A career 113 WRC plus. In the past 2 seasons, it's 140 and 130 respectively. This is a guy who can help you a lot in terms of handling left-handed and right-handed pitching. He does a really good job hitting the ball the other way, despite the fact that he plays in Coors. And this is kind of mind-boggling to me because when you play in Coors, you think, all right, this is the ballpark you would have the most home runs in. For Randall Grichuk, it's actually Yankee Stadium. He would have more home runs at Yankee Stadium than he would on the season. He has 5 on the year. He'd have 7 at the Bronx, and that's because he has really good opposite field power. Randall Grichuk excels at driving the ball the other way. That's why he's such a Yankee killer. I believe he has an 850-something OPS in the Bronx, and that's all been as a visitor. So he's been torturing the Yankees for a decent amount of time. Since 2018, I think he's tied with Rafael Devers for the most home runs hit against the Yankees at 18. And remember, guys, Devers has been in the division the entire time. Grichuk left the division after the 2020 season. So, really after avoiding him for 2 years, he still finds a way to kill us. The one game he played this series, he of course went yard against us. So, maybe bringing him to the Yankees would help. His speed isn't terrible. I know he's not a great defensive outfielder, but he's fine in the corners. He seems to just be really bad in center field, which makes sense. He's in his 30s. But Alex, I think this is a guy you can get right now, right? And I think that's the big thing here. You could get Randall Grichuk today. Right? I don't understand why he's not on the flight with them. And he's not going to cost you very much in terms of prospects. Obviously, this is a guy whose numbers are inflated because of Coors, but even the park-adjusted numbers, 115 OPS plus is really good. If he gives you the high average and high OBP with decent slug in the Bronx, you'll take it. And I think this could be a fun player to have in your lineup. Again, considering he has a 130 WRC plus against righties, lefties, Stanton's been playing a lot of the outfield lately. When Bauers comes back, could you have a situation where you have Judge in center, Bellinger and left, Stanton and right, and then DH Bauers against righties or DH Grichuk against lefties if you really need the offense? Let's say Bader is slumping or he needs a day off, whatever it may be. That's suddenly a lot better of a situation than what you've had before, right? And I know I'm saying Bellinger, but I'm just kind of assuming they get an outfielder just you can interchange Bellinger with whoever you want. Maybe it's a Juan Soto. I don't think it'll be a Juan Soto, but hey, who knows? But Alex, I guess the question I want to spin back to you here is, it feels like the Yankees need help now. It feels like they need help today. It doesn't feel like they can wait until July 31st because I feel like this ship is going to keep sinking. So, Alex, if you had Randall Grichuk on this team tomorrow, is he playing left field for you? Is he playing right field, moving stand back to DH? How is that outfield alignment looking like for you?
I mean, the outfield alignment is tough because, Grichuk is obviously, like you said, and I mentioned earlier, he's not a good defensive player. So you're going to have to live with the downfall of that. Now, he's played 3,654 innings in center field, 959 in left field, and over 3,400 in right field. So you're probably asking him to play the most comfortable position that he can. You look at his defensive runs saved over the course of his career, and they're just like god awful. He actually had probably some of his better seasons in left field compared to right and center, which is definitely interesting. Yeah, he actually had some decent seasons in right field. But again, like you said, he's a little bit older now. He has played 160 innings in right field, and he has 2 DRS and only -1 outs above average. So, you tell me. I think he probably ends up starting in right field until Aaron Judge comes back, and you have Stanton play left field, or you just flip-flop those guys. He's not a good center fielder. You don't want him there. You're acquiring this player because you need offense, not because you need defense. Now, the Yankees' defense in the outfield has been kind of bad this year. I mean, aside from Judge, and Bader's even had an interesting season where he's missed a couple balls and made a couple mistakes, but otherwise he's been above average in DRS and outs above average. And then left field's just been a complete shit show. Sorry for my language, just the truth. IKF has been god awful. Jake Bauers has been god awful. These guys can't catch the ball. They misjudge fly balls. They dive and don't even come close to it. I think Bauers actually hurt his shoulder trying to dive for one. So you kind of look at what the Yankees can do now. And here's the thing. Brian Cashman said it yesterday, right? They're looking for a left fielder that has offensive upside. The problem is he said that more GMs and more teams are willing to engage the closer you get to the deadline. So with the market the way it is right now, I don't think the Yankees are making any trades until they get close to the deadline. I don't think, yes, you're right. We need help right now. Like, this team cannot win unless they get another offensive piece that can inject some energy and some production into this team. Bellinger's on absolute fire, but like, who's to say he doesn't come to the Yankees and suddenly reverts back to his May numbers and they were god awful? Rizzo started the season hot for 2 months, and now he's been one of our worst players over the past month and a half. So you ask yourself, like, is Bellinger going to be able to maintain it? Is Grichuk going to be able to maintain it? Like, you just don't know. You have to take the gamble. You have to take the risk. Neither of these guys are World Series contending moves, my friends. The only way that this team makes it to the World Series, let alone the playoffs right now, is if they start to play with some synergy. They start to play baseball as a team and not as an individual or a unit. You know what I mean? Like, each unit is playing totally different baseball every day. Sometimes the bullpen's phenomenal and the starting pitching is terrible. Sometimes the batting order is great, or the batting order is terrible and the pitching's good. We haven't seen a really just complete, like, dominant game against a good team, let alone a bad team like the Rockies, in a long time. I can't even recall the last time we went out and put up like 8-1 scoreline, 7-1, 7-2 scoreline, just good offensive performance, good starting pitching, and good bullpen performance. We haven't seen it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't win games if every unit is playing a different caliber of ball every single day. You know what I mean? Like, our bullpen, one of our stronger units, has been kind of bad lately. Like, Cashman said it. Every GM's looking pitching at the deadline. And the Yankees, if they wanted to leverage some of their pitching for another player, you're looking at Domingo Germán, you're looking at Clark Schmidt, you're looking at, I don't know, Will Warren or Drew Thorpe or, Clayton Beater, guys in the farm system. We sent Waldichuk and Wesneski away last year. We don't have much to lose. We don't have much to give away. Like, our pitching situation, like, if we sell on our pitching now, we have nothing next year to give. You know what I mean? Like, we won't have many prospects. We don't have much stars. I'd actually like to keep Clark Schmidt right now, unless it was a part of a much bigger deal. A lot of teams, as we mentioned a couple days ago, actually, are looking at Roderick Arias, our young shortstop that we acquired last year in the international deal. He was the highest paid international signing. They pretty much allocated all of their bonus pool money to him. Arias is sick. Like, he's killing it in the Florida Complex League right now. Really good upside. He's 18 years old, switch hitter. He's got speed. He's got strength. He's still building out his frame. This kid could be something special. Teams are asking about him. They want pitching and they want shortstops. And luckily for the Yankees, we have a crap ton of shortstops in our system. We just went out and got that rookie from Vanderbilt. He was going to go to Vanderbilt, but instead he's staying around. I forget what his name was. Something Lombard. George Lombard
Jr. Yeah,
George Lombard Jr. Really good player. A lot of upside there, some pop to his bat, young. There's a lot of talent this team has on the farm system. The question is, and this is going to be a take that I think that many of us have overlooked. Why would a player like Ohtani, why would a player like Juan Soto want to come to the Yankees right now? You know what I mean? Like, what is the outlook for the Yankees right now? We have aging contracts, monstrous amounts of money going in the wrong places. We don't use our youngsters. We don't have what is the future for the Yankees? If you're an outsider, if you're a third party right now and you're a player, do you want to sign with the Yankees? Like, are you going to do that? So, I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see if players even want to come here. Do you think that's a perspective worth considering? Because, we all assume everyone wants to play for the Yankees, but would you want to play for the Yankees right now?
Well, I think that the one thing they have going for them is they have a good form. That's the thing they have going for them that should allow them to, mitigate a lot of the poor contracts they've signed or whatever it may be. Thankfully, guys like Josh Johnson are gone in a year. DJ's contract is 3 more years after this year, so it's not super long term. It shouldn't affect you that much. Obviously, Hicks's contract ends, I think, in the same year that DJ's ends. Rizzo can be let go after the 2024 season, so that's more money off the books there. I do think they have avenues to get money off the books and acquire more talent from within or externally. Is Randall Grichuk the solution? No, but can he be part of the puzzle? Yes. That's kind of where I feel I'm at with this team. I get it. This isn't, we're sitting here talking about Randall Grichuk. We're not talking about, a World Series winner or a World Series MVP or, an all-star. We're talking about a solid player, a role player. But, we've seen players like that take massive impacts or have massive moments in the postseason, right? 2 years ago, Eddie Rosario was just a guy on the market. Now we know him as the 2021, the hero for the Atlanta Braves. 2 years ago, Jorge Soler was just a guy. Now he's a World Series MVP and having a career year with the Miami Marlins. I'm not sitting here and saying Randall Grichuk's going to go out and, win ALCS MVP or World Series MVP. I'm not suggesting the Yankees, as currently constructed, are going to the World Series or the ALCS. But all it really takes is having enough talent, having some depth, and getting guys hot at the right time. If you put Grichuk in the right situation, maybe he excels. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He doesn't really cost you much. And he's better than what they currently have. That's really the thing here. He doesn't prevent them from making a move for Bellinger or a home run move for an Ohtani or Soto. But he's better than what they have right now, and they can make the trade, I think, right now. So, I view it as just, hey, why not have more depth? Why not have more options? Why not have more versatility? The problem isn't that the Yankees, just have bad players, but also their role players aren't very good, right? You can't play the same lineup, the same 9 guys every single day for 3 months. That's not going to happen, especially with this group of guys. But can you play, a rotation of 10 to 11 guys, consistently starting that can give you offense? Absolutely. And I think the Yankees need to look more from that perspective than just, all right, you know what, we're just going to try to get Bellinger because he's the only guy who directly helps us. No, go get some depth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a very busy next couple of days, next 2 weeks or so. But we got you guys covered here on Fireside Yankees and everything. If you don't follow us on social media, make sure to go do that. We're approaching 10K on Instagram very, very fast. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube as always, and hit us up on Twitter and pretty much everywhere. TikTok as well. Sam's kicking ass over there. So appreciate you guys. Make sure to keep following along because we got all the news every day just right to you on YouTube and every single channel. So appreciate that very much. We'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.